So since we're discussing that 3 years overlay of people in America, I feel like some people think I have a 3 wing because I live in America, but I feel like my when I talk about the details of the way I pursue ambition, it's more like 8 like. So could you describe someone that doesn't even have 3 in American culture that might have 8 or 7 that might make them more ambitious?
Here's the thing I think is important first is the 4-5 is like allergic to 3. There's like a disdain for even their own 3-ness because they don't realize to be a 4, you have the tension of the 3, how you should produce, and the 5 wanting to be iconoclastic and do their own thing. And so the first thing is not cooperating on a social level in the way of whatever the culture's behaviors are that are required. The 4 is going to always be a little off from that, no matter what country they're in. But if you add in the 4-6-8, there's that engine of anxiety that propels the 4 forward. It isn't the 4 itself. It's the 6 getting agitated at the same time the 8 is pushing for resolution. And remember the 4-6-8, it numerically adds up and then reduced to a single digit to 9, which means that your tritype wants instant resolution or you're out of there. And, there are 9 tritypes in each triad. And then the number they become is very significant and reveals important qualities about the type. So that's what's so fascinating. You're in the 5-6-7 triad because it's against the 4-5-8 is over there if you've seen the Tristar. But within the 5-6-7, you're the type wanting resolution. The problem is you don't have the patience to get there slowly. You want it immediate. And it's not that you mean to be that reactive. It's just destabilizing if you have to stay in that state too long. Does that match you?
Yeah, I think it actually makes sense because I think that the biggest difference for everybody else who might think I have a 3 wing is that in social situations, I feel like because I go to clubs a lot, especially in deeper connections, I run into lots of problems to the point that I got banned because I get like actively aggressive about it. When people talk
Yes.
about healing, or people talk about and they relate to self-improvement, and I'm like, as in someone told me, so that you don't trauma up on people you barely know, and my body impulse is to do it even more out of spite, as
That's
in
right.
or walk away.
That's
Whereas, it, yeah, so with 3, I feel like 3s don't like when they see this as a social norm. This is the rule. You have to follow it. Like I either go against it or I just go quiet and disappear. Kind of go more.
Yeah, you need it instantly. If it's not there, you're gonna assert for it. And then if it doesn't happen, you're out of there. But you'll
Yeah,
have a parting comment usually if you tried to explain something that concerned you and they didn't respond. And even if you don't say, but didn't you see that? Or you're being an idiot, or whatever the word is for each individual, 4-6-8, it's an alarm. And if people don't respond, then you got to get out of there. And because you don't feel comfortable, it's not enjoyable, you don't feel safe. You just think of it on a primal level. Either try to make it safe and make sure everyone understands, especially if you felt hurt, then you don't feel safe anymore if someone hurt you and they don't want to understand how they hurt you. So that's the different, that then speaks to the sexual social. So of the group, you choose the person or persons that you find desirable and you try to become desirable to them. And if they let you down, then this is what my mom would do. It's kind of an energetic, you're not important then. If I'm not important, neither are you. Okay.
yeah, exactly. I would say that's a huge differentiator because it's always I keep going on this because I feel like people don't understand that 3 assertiveness has this overly toxic positivity of like, and
Yeah.
also reluctance to show too much negative feelings, even if they do
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
anger, anxiety, they don't want to show that.
Yeah.
Whereas
Whereas the
it-
8 just says what's true for them.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And the 4 is actually the most vociferous about that because the emotions bubble really fast, where when the 8 is upset, they get colder and stonier and say, so you're telling me. So instead of getting hot-headed, you'd have to be in an 8's face for them to become hot-headed. But the 6 becomes the most a hothead, and the 4 becomes so emotionally angry that they're very articulate when they're angry, or if they're an introvert, they might just, shut up and show their disdain in their energy. But that's how you have power. We each want power. We all have it one way or another.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, they'll try to make you 3-wing, but you always have both wings. To be your type, it's the tension between the 2 wings. But what gives you that engine is your 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know
Yeah,
if there's another
sure.
follow-up thing I wanted to ask, just because other people, there are 3 people in line. Just because I'm trying to think about how to phrase this, like that 3 wingers kind of like something that happens a lot to me is that when people talk about goals and they have to go through bureaucracy, like in order to have emotional regulation. And I think about what's the purpose, so that socially other people will be more happy around you. And I get angry automatically. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work alone. I'm gonna work as an independent contractor, so I don't have to deal with people. Anytime I'm thinking about work and why I'm so stressed, because I'm always thinking, how can I avoid people? How can I avoid people? How can I avoid people so that I don't hurt them? Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get involved if I'm supposed to repress all of that, because I know it's gonna happen. So I might as well just avoid people, or avoid, even if I socialize, I'm like, sure, cool, awesome. Like, I'm not, people think I'm AI generated sometimes. I think I once told me that, you sound AI generated. And I was like, maybe I do. But it's
Yeah.
like, kind of, emotionally, I'm not here, because if I am, it's not going to go well.
Well,
So,
because the 8 in the tri-type is getting stonier and more indifferent, and we all shut down our empathy when we're angry. Every single one of us. We'd never be able to overcome an obstacle if we stayed totally open emotionally. So we shut down our empathy to take the action to protect ourselves, or if we feel like something's being stolen from us or we're in danger in some way. And it's all unconscious, but the thing is that the the 4s that try to act as if and identify with the 3-wing actually have 9 or 6 in their tri-type. So it amplifies the 3-ness, and it amplifies that 3-6-9, trying to comply, trying to fit in. But because we thought there was only one wing, most people have perpetuated that, and they think it's wing based, but it's actually tri-type based. But we do identify with one wing more the other, but usually the introvert identifies with their introverted wing and the extrovert identifies with their extroverted wing. Okay?
yeah, thank you so much. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense. It's 8, actually. Because I didn't know it was 5 or 8, but I think it's both. So that makes sense.
Yeah, you put them together and yeah.
Yeah,
And they go to emotional indifference really fast.
that's, yeah, basically what happens to me all the time. And I'm like, it's not personal, bro. I literally get this
Yeah.
thing going and then leave. Like, you're fine. We
Yeah.
kind of, yeah,
We're all a mess. It's just what kind of mess are we?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I don't know.
Nicole.
Please come across more charming. Anyways, good
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to have a lot of charm.